Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of our 4th Age Total War Harondor campaign, and we're starting off the turn this time with a marriage offer, a suitable husband to one of our faction's daughters here. Now this guy looks pretty decent. He's got the poor governor trait, but that's easily overcome with some little bit of experience, or giving him a settlement where he can become attuned, and just over time he may outgrow some of these negatives. He's a competent commander, though. He's energetic and intelligent. That's always a good thing, to be intelligent in this mod. It means you're going to increase your skills more quickly, and I think I'm going to go with it. He is youthful also, which is also very important to remember, because our faction is relatively short-lived. We do not have any great age traits to help us out. Like, I think the Dunedain factions, as they get older, get less bad age-related traits. So I can't remember exactly how that works out, but basically for this mod we're going to be dealing, as we're dealing with Southrons essentially, we're going to be dealing with a faction that is going to age relatively quickly in terms of those negative age traits. So we'll accept that, and I want to see where he is. Let's go and identify him. Oh, nice. He's at Tarnost. That is great. I was hoping we were going to have someone we could use as a general, and we can definitely make use of him in that regard. We've already got a few family members in the area here. We've got 2 in this army, but we've only got the 1 over here. Fwiner the Great Conqueror, of course, is no slouch, but let's see his age. Okay, he's still youthful too. This is fantastic. Okay, great. So we'll just have another, heavy cav unit essentially out of this guy in Tarnost, and he's good enough that we can put him in charge of a settlement. Now, off camera, in between the last episode, you may remember there was a small force, about a quarter stack, of Kingdom militia from the Reunited Kingdom, and they were outside Dol Amroth. We swatted them away at the end of the last episode, and I just pursued and annihilated that army off screen. It wasn't a terribly interesting battle, because I figured we're going to be fighting several of those battles here on our last path to victory. The trick is, we do need to keep in mind there are some pretty tough units still hanging around in Gondor, most notably these Knights of Dol Amroth, of which there are 30. Now that may not sound like a lot, but this is a fantastic unit, and usually when you train them, when you're playing as the Reunited Kingdom, this is a bodyguard unit, and that means that they come typically with something like a dozen men, so, or maybe even fewer than that. It depends on the influence of the character and so on. So those numbers can go up, but 30, that's kind of a lot of good guys. And the other thing is, because the AI doesn't train the recruitable bodyguards, so in this mod, those types of units, when the AI has the option of training them, they are not bodyguard units. So in other words, this is not a family member. This is just like a unit. There's pros and cons to that, right? The pro, I would rather face, in most conditions, a bodyguard version of this unit. That's because a lot of times the bodyguards, they're characters, right? So they're going to have traits, and some of those traits may very well be negative. And furthermore, if this unit is led by a bodyguard, typically you're going to see smaller unit size, and there's a greater chance of that unit being the governor or the general of the entire army, and that means that you can get rid of that general and quickly rout the army. In this case, we're going to have a Knights of Dol Amroth unit that is not easily snipeable because of its large size, and also because it doesn't have the potentially negative traits that a family member might bring it. So this is going to be one that we'll have to deal with a little bit carefully, and I'd rather fight them in the open. So I don't want to necessarily fight them in the city streets of Ethring, because that's just going to be a grind, and they will, despite the fact that they're a cav unit, we don't have our really good spears. We're working on them. We're going to be able to train some good retainer spearmen right out of Umbar in 5 seasons, right? So I think we will get to these units, these retainer spearmen, before the campaign is over, but it's going to take a little while, and then of course we're going to have to ship them all the way up to Gondor. Let's take a look at our other news this turn. We did go ahead and train some Dúnedainic militia levies. As you can see, this is kind of a basic unit, but actually this might be our answer to the Dol Amroth Knights. We'll put them with this army here, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of keep cranking these guys out. We've got a lot of population actually, and this will help keep the population low, and also you know, therefore the public order penalties for having lots of population will not be so high. So I think that'll be a good maneuver. And minus honor, we've got provincial pacification finished, which means that we can now go on to the Dominion building. So this is going to cost us 5 grand, which is actually not too bad. 9 seasons though, that's the big thing. But check out all that income. That's going to make us over 3,000 just in land tax. Of course, we're going to lose a lot of that. 1/3 of that is going to be siphoned off due to corruption or mismanagement, as it's called in this mod. So we could potentially mitigate that by moving our capital a bit closer. Currently, this is our capital. I think this is serving us pretty well. But let's take a look. Let's take a look. So we're projected now to make 5,105. If we move it back up to, let's see, all these places are looking very happy. Move it back up to Harondor. Let's see. 5,105. Yeah, we got to go to the, no, where do we do this? The settlement details scroll, that's what it is. There's our capital button. 5,105 becomes 5,696. So let's check that public order, make sure it's still good. Yeah, all of these cities are looking green. Umbar's still happy. So we're making about, you know, 500 more, and every place is looking quite nice, actually. I could probably stand to move it even a little farther north, but yeah, let's see what happens if we go with Lond New Ellenath. Okay, that's lower. Public order is, of course, better in Gondor, if that's the capital. And everything's still good with the exception of I think we'll go with Harondor. That's, you know, in a way, the nice thing about playing Harondor is that this kind of thing is relatively straightforward to manage in terms of like where your capital is. With some factions, it is a bit more difficult. Like, I'm trying to think, oh, well, of course, you know, a faction like the Dwarves or the Elves, or the Reunited Kingdom or a Dunabar for that matter, where you have vastly sundered territories. But with Harondor, you know, you're basically fighting in largely friendly, largely tightly knit territories. Now, we lost a governor here, unfortunately. But on the plus side, we did manage to build the highest military building, and so I've queued up several of these Harondor Outriders. So hopefully we're going to see them in action. They're 2 years or 2 turns per unit, though. So I'm going to wait until we get a good 4 of them together. And yes, still we're not seeing any approaching armies of the Reunited Kingdom. I would like to get eyes on Rune, maybe. See how they're doing. We'll see what Ravanian actually looks like. And yeah, I think we'll keep the scout right here. Realistically, I mean, maybe we can move him so we can get eyes on some settlements. I don't know why it's so hard to see Aldburg. But yeah, nothing looking too bad here. This is potentially a concern if Rohan and the Reunited Kingdom go to war, that we may end up sharing a border with Rohan. But that's why we're kind of taking it slow here. Okay, so taking a look at this, I think it's just more of the Kingdom militia. So maybe we don't need to worry too much about it. Let's move them here. And let's bring our new family member over. I don't want to lose him in a sort of a meaningless city battle. We do see some more militia and swords moving towards Lynn here. You know, with public order looking so good here, maybe we can go ahead and get going on Homeland Dominion in Lynn here, because we need to destroy this. And I was concerned about public order being a problem. There's the Yellowface back in Pelargir, but honestly, yeah, everything's looking fine. Alright, the other big thing to do, once, you know, the following turn hits, we're going to see how the Reunited Kingdom is responding to our our man, let's see, who is this? Farran of Central Harondor and his forces kind of in the middle. They may just move to Dol Amroth, which would be disappointing, but we'll get them out and about, and we'll try to put Ethring and Kilembel under siege. At some point, I would like the leisure to go back and grab this fort, but a thing that I've sort of forgotten is these forts can really wait, right? They don't produce that much in terms of units because the population is typically too low. So while it may look tempting to get it and secure, you know, some of the territory that may threaten you or outflank you, it's really not something you need to typically worry about. They can be grabbed at your leisure, and I'm not quite at my ease just yet. We do need to take care of this, is the other thing. We've got some longbowmen, so it would be nice to destroy them in a nice, simple field battle. Let's jump into that. And I can see there's also some Reunited Kingdom forces heading up towards Minas Anor. But we've got that place forted up. So there's forts blocking the roads. It'll take them several turns to move past those forts. And in my experience, the AI is more likely to put a fort under siege than it is to just move past it. That means we should have plenty of warning, and the roads around here are good enough that we can also just get our guys from Pelargia right up there if we need to. Okay, Herdwaith Riders. Herdwaith Riders was going to keep them there. And I guess the thing we want to watch out for is those longbows, right? Sniping all of our guys. I think we've got plenty of cav here, though. The forces that we are seeing, and yeah, this is what they're going to do. They're going to snipe our cav. We'll just get our guys close to them, so I'm not too concerned. We're going to take a lot of losses, but we can maybe push them back behind the spears. Let's go ahead and take them off skirmish. And we're going to start doing some damage to them pretty quick here, too. They're going to have to reform. All right, back up, back up. Forgot we had Herdwaith Riders charging in. Okay, and now we can move up, I guess, the rest. Because we're just going to be surrounding these militia. Okay, that's good. They're chasing our cav. Probably bring the general up, but it is, you know, a little risky engaging with longbowmen. I'll put you on skirmish again because I'm liable to lose track, as we can see. We're definitely going to lose a cavalryman there. Yep, he's dehorsed pretty fast. So let's send the bodyguard in. And now they're well away from their infantry support. Alright, yeah, they do not show any hesitation to charge in to cav, and they typically do very well, but here they're just led by a captain. We've already whittled them down a bit, so not much of a concern. Let's pull back. And let's just distract with the cav, get them in range, allow our infantry to move up. The thing you want to watch for with skirmishers, where skirmishing goes wrong, is when you have them trying to get to a particular point on the battlefield, right? They're trying to fulfill their orders, their marching orders that you've given them. So that's why you'll see me periodically just like pressing shift or space to check where I wanted them to go, and then canceling those orders, because if they keep running back and forth trying to get to a particular spot, that's how they can get caught. Alright, we'll yeah, I guess we'll just leave him on that duty. And let's see, this is the only unit left. Let's go ahead and charge it in. Alright, and that's it. I think we'll just end the battle here. There shouldn't be anybody left anyway. So that saves Lynn here for now. And it also took away one of those longbow units that I think was up at Arnak. Now, in Arnak, I believe there's one more kind of tough unit, and this is going to be the Axemen. No, maybe they've got a whole other longbow unit up there. Shoot. Oh, there's the Lasarnik Axemen. Okay, interesting. Well, let's see what happens if we go and try to take them out. Alright, anything here? No, just ships. They're not causing us any trouble. We could probably merge these guys a little bit, but let's just clean up the cav for now. 2933. Oh, yeah, we'll go with that. And I guess we could go with some more of you. And yeah, I'll put you at Pelargir. I believe in previous builds, Pelargir was a chief city. Maybe I'm not thinking of that right. But unfortunately, we won't be able to train these guys until we can get them to a fort or minus Honor or Dol Amroth. So we'll just have to wait on that. But let's hit this army, and they can't go anywhere. Or path block, that's interesting. Oh, very strange. Taking a circuitous route around the dock there. Okay, they are stuck, so we will take care of those Lasarnic Axemen. This is going to be a... well, I'm anticipating it'll be just a shooting fish in a barrel type situation. We'll just get our cav up and around the flanks. Throw javelins down at them. Yeah, this is not going to be too good for them. They got no ranged. Let's just go ahead with that.
Reinforcements are here, but will they be enough for final victory?
Yeah, I think we'll be good. We're going to cav around. I'd like to save the javelins for the axemen if possible, but if not, that's okay. We've got archers, and they should be just fine against these guys. They've got armor, but you know, they're still pretty susceptible to missile fire. I was talking with somebody on one of the videos. I can't remember. It's been a while, but there was a comment about, you know, is armor better or are shields better? I think this was in the context of looking at units available for Dale. And I've always just taken it as given that if a unit has a shield, that's better for anti-missile. So in sort of the way I think about it is I would look at these guys and say, okay, they're going to be better at soaking up arrows than these guys will. And partly that's probably just because this is a much cheaper unit, and so I don't care about losses in Kingdom Militia if I'm fielding this unit. Whereas I do care about losses on Lasarnic Axemen because they're more elite, they're higher tier, they're cooler, let's face it. And so there's a bit of a prestige thing. You want to retain every single one of those guys if you can. Let's halt you and actually all the archers. And let's get all you guys on fire at will too. Halt all of you. But this commenter, and apologies again, I can't remember who it was saying that, yeah, no, the shield doesn't... It's not as strong as I was thinking it was, basically. So units can have armor that just overcomes the shield. So I think the unit in particular was the Hearth Troops of Dale. And this is a two-handed axe unit. And again, I'm very conservative with these guys. I like to have them back behind the front lines, specifically so they don't get slammed by arrows. But this user is saying, no, they do great front line. They can handle arrows better than the Black Spears, I think it was. I mean, to be fair, these guys have done better than I thought, too. They started off with like 60 or so. And they were just under 40. Of course, getting charged in the back is not good, but they cut down like half of these mercenary Gondorian swordsmen, right? So pretty decent showing from the Lasarnic Axemen. So I think I maybe overstate their fragility sometimes, is what I'm trying to say. But they're gone now. Now, Gondor can, of course, retrain them or train another unit at Arnak as long as they hold it. So we will want to take that out. And I think that's where their longwomen are coming from, too, because if you can train Lasarnic Axemen, I think you can also train longbows. I think it's the same tier of military stuff. Okay, now I guess Pelargir is another thing we could work on, but let's do Lynn here first. We'll take it kind of one at a time. And Emin Arnon, yeah, only one season for control posts there. All right. Let's see what they do.
We're surrounded.
Yeah, okay. So a little disappointing to see that, but that's just the AI's move. Let's see what our news is. Okay, we've got our 1 unit of Harondor Outriders. We've got more guys of Dol Amroth. And what's this? It's Kingdom Militia, but we do have a Man-at-Arms unit. That's not going to be enough. Let's see. Emin Arnon, we can start training stuff. Let's do it. Let's get 4. And we're still making over 5 grand. Okay, so who have we lost? We've lost an emissary in Far Harad West, which is way down here, which is fine. We've still got a spy in the area. And we've got a noble who we lost in Emin Arnon. That's a shame. But he completed the control posts, so that's very nice. While he's gone, we could probably do one of these cheaper things since it's not too expensive even without his bonuses. Construction or estates and farmlands. I'm kind of inclined to go this route. Construction would be timber because, as you can see, that's what we have. I don't think there's any stone available in South Athelion. So timber would get us reduction in construction costs, which is nice. But I'm not probably going to be building a ton here, but I will be doing trade, and wine is a nice trade resource to exploit, so we'll go with that. Oh, yeah, we lost a little bit there, and Dol Amroth is under siege. Okay. So, do we want to go for Arnak again? Looks like they've emptied Ethring. They've taken out the riders, which are probably up here. Let's see. Okay, we can't tell. Alright, I think I am going to bypass Arnak. I know this is... I always do this. Oh, actually, no. We've got a little ambushing unit at the ford here. Alright, Lieutenant Isildur. Nice. Okay. Now, yep, we're going to get not ambushed again because he can't really ambush us when he's used up all of his movement. But do we want to fight? This is going to be heavily forested. I think we may as well. We want to clear this over so we can get into the west towards Ethring and start seeing if we can take that out, right? Or get a nice favorable battle against some of those larger units. And anyway, probably what's going to happen next is they're going to besiege Linhir or Pelargir again. So I want to free up the movement. Actually, you know, we can do this. And just again, a quality of missile units, foot units, is you can have them actually march onto the river when it's a situation like this, where you can't do that with these guys, right? With infantry of any other type or cavalry. It's only the archers. I think skirmishers are like that too. So this is swordsmen. Let's see if there's another ford anywhere else. I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's the only crossing, so we'll have to wait. And I guess we can just do swords versus swords. But we'll use up the arrows first. And yeah, these archers, if they didn't take 2 turns to train, I'd probably use them a lot more, but it just feels like there's other stuff to do. Like, you need more infantry replacements, you need cavalry. So I rarely find the time to go super archer heavy with Harad, but they are a really effective unit. I mean, I know these guys are only tier 2, but you know, we basically took out one of these units head on, which I always find a little impressive. Maybe more impressive than I should find it, but let's see. Just get you guys in a line, I suppose, something like that. And I think we're going to just deal with this with the infantry. Just see what the javelins can do once we get them all in place. Oh, yeah. Okay, and we'll bring the general up because he's going to have that fear effect. Let's get the blockiest units over to the left. You guys can go up that way. We'll use a small unit as reinforcements, but I'm overthinking it. I'll just close in here. I mean, this is not a good We're not getting a charge or anything, but we are going to get them at least afraid. And yeah, we'll just end it. So there's those 3 units of swords, and now we can march at least across the river to the west. A couple of tiles anyway. It'd be nice to get a decisive battle, but part of the problem is I keep going back and forth from these cities, right? Like, so there's survivors. I would have thought they would have been eliminated. But yeah, survivors of Arnak are probably going to come down and besiege Pelargir because they're looking at the numbers and they figure they could take it. And these guys are going to go for Lynn here, or who knows, maybe they're going to try to get into the east. This guy's at least now positioned to get to either place, you know, within a turn or two. And here we're going to have to go back. Are we going to have to? Well, I guess we could go right for Ethring. And just take it. Let's see what they do about that. They probably wouldn't do too much. The only thing that I'm concerned about here is if they do assault, they have that, you know, half unit of men-at-arms. And we've got some stuff that could kind of help, but I don't know that we'd be able to stand. Then again, Dol Amroth is a nice big settlement with a hill. So let's take Ethring. We'll just take it, and again, this is full strength man-at-arms unit, and we're not going to auto-resolve. We're going to go ahead and fight it, actually. But we've got the types of units that can deal with those men-at-arms. We'll do the typical thing, if I can remember. Try to pull them out of the plaza with archers. Get them sort of engaged by some good swords. A Harondor footmen there. Or arms men. And we've got enough archers to do this. Yeah, let's line them up like here. And we don't have any swordsmen, interestingly enough. You know, I mean, apart from these guys, which are great. All right, yes, let's take you. Skirmish off, and we'll put you up like here. And the goal is just to get into the city and sort of pull them out. So this will be Ethring, the place where they never built a wall. And I can't remember if they can actually train men-at-arms here. Let's see what the buildings are. Because the military building should show up. Okay, just control posts. Alright, so this is not going to be all that decisive in terms of their training capability. But it will be nice to at least get rid of this unit. Probably what's going to happen is either the besiegers of Dol Amroth are either going to try to come back, maybe to defend Kalembel, right? Because that's like next on the chopping block. Or maybe they'll be confused, right? And maybe they will just try to come back too late. What we could have done, if I really wanted to end the siege of Dol Amroth, I could have besieged this place and just waited for them to turn around. But probably what would have happened instead is the other army, the one with a family member that's located off to the east, they would have come over instead. Alright, so here we go. We're going to get some kills that way. And let's get a nice full unit of swords. Let's run them right up here. Alright, we've got our other javelins in on it. Let's run our cav up here now. Okay, we're in melee. Oh, okay, get out. I didn't think they were gonna rush back, but I think when your guys get into the plaza, the AI detects that and tries to defend it. Alright, let's get out. Since we're in melee, we gotta get out. go. Nope. No. Alright, let's pull back then. Yeah, they're being very coy. Alright, they are going to go this way. Fine. So let's get our swords up. Well, it seems like they know what they're doing almost. They really want to defend that plaza. Alright, they are great. Nope. Pull back a little bit. Alright, throw the bodyguards in. Maybe here we can get a nice, quick, decisive hit. Yes, nice. Okay, we'll end this one. We only lost 3 men. It seems like we should have lost more given how kind of sloppy that one felt. But regardless, we should now have Ethring. Gets us up to, I think, 24 provinces owned. And I think we may as well lay desolate here. This is very unhappy. Yikes. Okay, so we'll definitely keep the Homeland Dominion here, and everything else is good. These beacons are indestructible. They're just providing us trade bonuses. And these are not to be confused with the northern beacons. These are the southern beacons from the coast up to towards Minas Anor. So yes, we've taken Ethring, and it seems like we'll have to stick around here a little bit. But now we're somewhat helping, I guess, control the territory here, because this does control the crossing over the Ringlo, I guess this is. This is the Kirill, yes. So this is the only crossing at this point. The other one is just north of Ithelond. And I don't know. I guess we could drop a fort here. It might not be a bad idea. Somewhere around those trees. But let's see what else we can do. We've got a decent amount of cash. I think depends on what this guy does, because now he can't just go back and join with Kalembel, right? Because he's kind of hemmed in here. He could go down and join with this army, in which case Fuinir would definitely want to go for it. So yeah, let's just see what the AI is going to do. Okay, Harad. Right. Just testing us out. It looks like we do have some guys right above Minas Anor, actually. Here they come. Okay. They're going to go for the forts. Well, that fort is somewhat important, actually. I think I'm going to skip on this guy. He's lazy, unintelligent, doesn't have great stats. Okay, before we forget, let's move this spy around. Bregesta, it looks like the borders here are pretty much the same as they always were. You know, Ravanian over here, and then Rune over here. So nothing too unusual going on. We do have our spy here to check out Athrad Morn, and maybe we should head back west. But I don't think Khand is at war with the United Kingdom, so the borders over here are going to just likely stay the same. Who is Khand at war with, if anybody? They are at war with Rune. Alright, let's get down here then. Yeah, they seem to be doing fine. They've got Eastern Mordor pretty well locked down, but Rune has not pushed south, it looks like. But neither has Khand pushed north, so it's a little frustrating. I mean, I guess it's fine. Just a status quo over in Mordor is decent for me. Alright, we lost that spy down by Farharad. There's not a lot going on down here, though, so I'm not feeling too concerned about it. Let's get another emissary and spy to replace that. And, yeah, 8,000. Alright, yeah, it just takes a long time to train those Outriders, and this army has not moved. They are going to assault, so I'm kind of tempted to just see if we can hold out. These armies haven't moved at all. They could assault next turn, and I don't know if I could get back there this turn. I could not. I could with my cav, and we could probably beat this army with just cav. No archers at all, and all relatively squishy units. So we could bring all these guys. And what would the public order look like there? It's actually better without the governor. Okay, and actually he can't make it. So let's keep them together. And what shall we do? I guess there's no point in bringing this army to Dol Amroth, right? Because we've got guys at Ethring who, if we really needed to scramble them, we could get them back that way. The only purpose in doing this would be if we saw an opportunity to take out these armies that looked super attractive, and I'm not seeing that. So maybe instead we will besiege Arnak, which feels like the thing we should be doing. We'll grab a mercenary and we'll just wait and see what happens. I don't think we'll get attacked next turn, so we could probably take it pretty quickly. They do have the wooden walls, which they can get those archers up on. But I'm tempted to go quick and just deal with this, because we will need to come back here and address this situation. Now, if we lose this fort, not the worst thing in the world, because Emin Arnin will probably hold them. I don't think they're going to pour down south just yet. And we could quickly raise a decent army. So let's think about spending a bit of cash here. Is there anything we could purchase to make us some money? We're making 8,000. Let's just go with a basic market. I think this is a financial settlement. So yeah, not really any reason not to. This is going to make us an extra 50. It's not much. All right, maybe Red Harnen would be better. Yeah, that's the thing. Depending on how you move your capital and what kind of trade situations you have, some of those trade buildings don't feel like the biggest bang for your buck. So let's go crops. That's pretty decent. 15 to 17, and it only costs us 33 in terms of corruption, so we'll spend that happily. Okay, and we'll just end here. Let's see, are we going to get any assaults this turn? Yes, we are. We're going to defend Dol Amroth from Lieutenant Erkinion. Alright, some of these units are cut down a little bit, and they've only brought the 2 siege weapons to bear. We've got ladders, and we've got the siege tower. Now, is the captain... I can't remember if the captain is going to be those men-at-arms or the kingdom militia. But we've got nice walls. That should do some damage. And we've got a nice defensible position up here. And we can see the work that our men have been doing. Get rid of this marble. We found a town of marble, and we left it mud brick. Beautiful. All right. Okay, so yes, we've got Kingdom Militia here. There's their men-at-arms. So they may get chewed up by tower fire as well if we can hold these Kingdom Militia. And this is our captain. Okay. It's gonna be kind of rough. Do I hold the walls or not? It's always a sort of a tricky question. I think we'll go over here with our swords, because they're going to have the best luck javelining down that unit. And we'll put 32 of them up here. I don't know if they're going to get hit by the tower fire. And unfortunately, I do not have like a lot more mercs. I don't feel like I can risk my captain up in the walls either, but this is exactly the unit I would want to have fighting these guys. So I'll have to leave him down here. And then we've really only got these other 2 units. All right. Let's go with the militia levies here, and you guys over here, just for flanking. And we'll see how this works. We may lose Dol Amroth. The thing is, this has not been crucial to our strategy. Dual Amroth is a nice place to get, of course. We need it for victory, I believe. Oh, are we going to lose? They're going to lose the tower. Oh, awesome. So we're not going to lose Dual Amroth. We can hold them here at the ladders. I'm quite sure of it. There goes the siege tower. And did they lose any guys to that collapse? Possibly not. Maybe they only lose men if they're climbing it when it collapses. But they're going to lose guys here. And this is going to be very nice for us.
The ladders are at the walls. It will be sword work now.
We will have to watch out for those men-at-arms. There are going to be some fresh units coming on at the very end when our guys are chewed up and tired.
Spearmen.
Yeah, they're wavering. Okay, that's good. Still got 75 men. We've only lost a couple. Alright, let's now get in. See if we can get them to rout before their reinforcements get here. No, but we're doing pretty well. Oh, yeah. Very nice. All right, I'm gonna pull you guys back. We're just gonna wait, hit them as they come jumping off the ladders to the walls. And these swordsmen are doing fantastic. Only now starting to take losses. Maybe that's because I've had them right under the ladders. So let's let's move them back. Back over here. We want to be flanking, I think. I think you want to position your guys not right in front of the ladders. And here's the men-at-arms. Here's the unit we have to worry about. And they got to the walls only taking a couple of losses, I think. Did they have 39 men initially? Yeah, here's some of them. So I think they lost 8 men. And that's going to be about the end of it. Our guys are fresh. Let's see. I think I'm going to run over here with the general. Maybe he can get on the other side, shore up this Southron Spears unit. It is risky bringing the captain up. Men-at-arms down to 22. Our swords are doing pretty well. Nice. Ugh, this is brutal though. We're gonna take a big chunk of losses here. Now when it says they're marching, but not in melee, but you can see that they are theoretically fighting. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Like, should we halt them? Are they not attacking? Are they just trying to get somewhere? Kind of unclear. I'm not sure exactly how they fight, how well they fight when the different messages are being displayed. But yes, we've got our backup swords in now. 16 men-at-arms still, so this is... Ugh, yeah. Right, let's bring the general over. This might come right down to it, actually. I don't really have any other units. We've got these 77 Dunedainic militia levies. Really want to take care of those men-at-arms. Oh, okay. Good, they're heading back. There's the general is way back here. That's good.
Swordsmen.
11 men-at-arms. They're not losing men fast enough. They do only have 11 Kingdom Militia, though. That's their general unit. If we can take care of them, I bet the men-at-arms will rout. But we do have the unfortunate situation of just routing units that can't flee off the walls. All right, down to 9 men-at-arms. Okay, Swords of Harad are now gone. Let's go after the general with the Kingdom Militia. Dunedainic Militia levies, rather. 3, 2. If these levies can take out their general. And it's down to just one. Where is he? There he is. Is he going to run off the wall to his death? 18. Oh, we do outnumber them now. I'm surprised that that our mercenaries have done as well as they have. And we've got a lot of these militia levies, so I mean, we can certainly stand to lose a lot of them. Oh, man. Alright, he's right in the middle of it. Where are you going? Oh, is he going to steal the gate? He is going... No, not quite. He is going to just run into the wall. Alright. Oh, jeez. Alright, let's get the general down here. I'm just glad he's not actually grabbing the gate. Just because we may have that fire into our units. Although it's not firing into them. Alright, Kingdom Militias down to 7, Men-at-Arms down to 7. And our general is right at the rear there with his nice golden shield. So I feel pretty confident sending him in here. This, the captain of the United Kingdom still can't quite crack the gatehouse there, so we should be good. Yeah, let's throw him in, and that should be the end of the men-at-arms any minute now. And let's go after the captain. Alright, nice. He couldn't find the door. So, that saved us from that embarrassing loss. Okay, great. So, we defended Dol Amroth. It was a little close. Probably shouldn't have risked it, but it worked out. The only thing we have to worry about now is another immediate follow-up attack from some other army, which could certainly be approaching from the north, and the public order problems that are a result of that drastic loss of population. So let's go take care of that before I forget. We are training some mercenaries, and we're at 70, the magic number, so we don't need to technically worry about it. But let's go ahead and retrain you guys. I think they should retrain this turn, even though they're kind of placed behind that second unit. So we'll just leave that like so. Alright, we now have 2 units of Harondor Outriders in our capital of Harongond, and Lynn here is ready for a Dominion building. Alright, Kibilzon of the Seaward Tower. It has the Lordship of Ringlow Vale. Very nice name here. These surnames... this might be something that goes unnoticed by a lot of players, but you know, the idea that you can have a character who comes of age or becomes like an adoptable character, and their last names are directly related to the provinces your faction owns. So the Seaward Tower would be referenced to Dol Amroth, right? We have that now, and that's why we're getting this guy. He came of age, or it was somehow associated with Dol Amroth. So it's very neat. You can see the just the flavor of your faction changing as you expand, and that's what I really like about it. I mean, there's a lot that's made of some of the mechanics of the later games, where you can do like kingdom formation, it's called, right? And I'm making air quotes with my fingers now, because really all that does, as far as I can tell, is your faction gets a new name, right? Like if you conquer enough territory, your faction goes from to take the example of Thrones of Britannia, which I'm more familiar with. Say you're playing West Sax, and then you conquer all of you know, England, so to speak. You'd become the faction of England. And that's fine, you know, it's a nice, flavorful touch. But it doesn't, I don't think it does too much. There sometimes are mechanical benefits or whatever attached to it, but it doesn't arguably change how you play all that much. It's a flavor thing, which is nice. But that is also in this mod, right? Yes, the faction names cannot change because that is hard-coded. That's just a feature of Rome Total War. At least the older version. I don't know if the remaster has added in the ability to change faction names halfway through. But I just don't feel the need for it. And we've got these types of things to indicate your expansion anyway. Okay, so Merwin of Adarbar's got a nice little trait here. Expert Miner. So let's take a look at that. And that is no doubt because he's located in a settlement with mines. Let's just take a look at what we have here. Yes, indeed, we've got the deep mines, so he's got a fantastic ancillary. These are pretty rare in the mod, but they are pretty impactful. Getting any of those retinue members. I mean, some of them are very common, but there's fewer ancillaries overall in 4th Age than there are in the base game, and that's because it was thought better to have a few and impactful group of retinues than have a ton of kind of meaningless ones. But looking at the time here, I think this is a pretty good point for us to wrap up this particular episode. We're at 4th Age 391, 40 years or so into the game, and we're looking at 24 settlements owned. We've got 6 to go. We've got 1 of those under siege, and we are at the position where we could assault that this turn. And that's probably what we're going to do next time. We're going to do the Assault of Arnak. So I hope you'll stick around for that, and until then, take care.